Developing a team is a critical aspect of project management, as it helps improve teamwork, individual growth, and overall project success. However, not all statements about team development are accurate. Which of the following statements about developing a team is false? Options: A, developing a team leads to better teamwork. B, developing a team leads to growth in an individual's knowledge. Developing a team results in decreased turnover. Developing a team is done once in the project's duration. You are a new project manager at a local manufacturing plant. Since you are new to the organization, the only authority you have over your project team is formally stated in the project charter, which designates you as the project manager. This authority is based solely on your position within the organization. What kind of power does this situation best represent? A, pressure-based power. B, positional power. C, reward power. D, referent power. At JL Consulting, compliance is ensured through the Project Management Office, PMO. The organization must determine which type of PMO is least likely to align with their compliance-focused needs. What type of PMO is JL Consulting least likely to have? A, supportive. B, controlling. C, primary. D, directive. Your company has recently hired a new Chief Operating Officer, Ku. She has requested a list of organizational impediments to identify areas for improvement within the company. As part of this effort, you need to determine which of the following scenarios would be considered an organizational impediment. Which of the following would be considered an organizational impediment? A, the QA team now requires a new issue recording tool. B, a coding audit will take place randomly to prevent software bugs from being delivered. C, the office's internet is out. D, the CEO will now take the last Friday of the month off. Austin has been waiting for several days to hear back from the Change Control Board about a submitted change request. The Change Control Board has informed him that the request has been rejected. This decision leaves Austin concerned, as it will extend the timeline of an activity in his project schedule. He must determine the most appropriate next step to address the situation. What should Austin do first? A, notify the project sponsor. B, update the change log. C, identify a vendor to perform the work. D, look for a workaround. During your Scrum team's daily stand-up meeting, several issues are reported by team members. As part of the discussion, the team must identify which issue qualifies as a blocker that could hinder the progress of the sprint. Which issue is considered a blocker? A code bug is detected in the testing environment of a new feature. The deliverable scheduled for production is broken and requires immediate fixing. C, the lead developer's internet connection is slower than usual. D, a junior developer is out sick. Midway through the execution phase of a project, you observe that team morale is extremely low and the project is delayed by 6 weeks. After discussing with your lead engineer, she reveals that the lack of clear task assignments is causing confusion, double work in some areas, and overlooked tasks in others. The team is stressed and frustrated, impacting productivity and the project schedule. What should you do to address this situation? A, proceed with the project as planned since it is already halfway done, and document the challenges and the lessons learned for future reference. Collaborate with your engineers to create a responsibility assignment matrix RAM chart to clearly define and assign tasks. C, outsource the remaining work to a third-party vendor and reassign your engineers to other projects. D, ask the engineers to work overtime until the project is back on schedule. Marvin has been a contractor on your software development project for the past year, and his work is critical to the project's success. His contract is about to expire, but Marvin has expressed interest in continuing to work with you until the project is completed. To ensure project continuity, you need to decide the best course of action. What should you do to address this situation? A, issue a single source contract with Marvin. B, hire Marvin as a full-time employee. C, let Marvin's contract expire and hire a new contractor. D, issue a sole source contract with Marvin. You have recently joined a consulting firm and are invited to participate in a team retrospective after reaching a major project milestone. Retrospectives are designed to help teams reflect on their performance and identify areas for improvement. However, not all outcomes of a retrospective align with its intended purpose. Which of the following is not a benefit of a retrospective meeting? A, encouraging the team to further develop and grow. Increasing team morale and spirit. C, improving trust and transparency within the team. D, determining who is responsible for any issues that occurred in the project. You recently joined a consulting firm and are attending a team retrospective after a major project milestone. Retrospectives help teams reflect, improve, and grow, but not all actions align with their purpose. Which of the following is not a valid benefit of a retrospective? A, motivating the team to improve and grow. Boosting team morale and positivity. C, building trust and transparency. D, assigning blame for issues.